property owner, which the conditions would be the uses, and maybe not with the buffer, but with the uses, that captures it.
So you're rezoning it, yes, but there's also conditions that I guess the applicant has agreed to in his application. If you're making a motion to approve it, subject to those conditions that he's agreed on, you're making an agreement there. The town also agrees that those conditions are reasonable, and as long as those are equal, where you meet the minds there between the applicant and the town, then those are binding conditions. You rezoned it subject to those conditions. Of course, if there was additional conditions you wanted to put on it that the applicant didn't want to do, then he could withdraw his application. You'd have to have a mutual agreement there. So if you want to make the motion to approve the rezoning subject to the conditions the applicant has agreed to in his application, I don't want to make a motion for you, but that sounds, I think, like what you're trying to do.
But it's what the applicant's
Conditions in his applications.
Okay, the Board of Commissioners adopt the statement of consistency and finds the determines that the case number CRZ-2022-1 is consistent with the adopted goals, objective, and policies of the town of Benson.
Is reasonable.
Is reasonable and in the public interest, hereby granting approval subject to the conditions
Submitted by the applicant. They're mutually agreeable to the town.
Yeah, what he said.
Any other questions? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, no. Ayes have it.
When do we open?
Tomorrow.
Okay. Looking forward to it.
If anybody has not been out there, he had a taste for the board. And some of us went, and it was awesome. It really was. Great food.
Consider approval of the Withers Ravenel proposal for your new UDC update. Aaron.
Yes, this is the contract that you have in your packet this evening of that update. We have reviewed it, planning, the town attorney has reviewed it, Kim has reviewed it. This is something that you all have budgeted for, that I presented to you all about a month ago, of the specifics of this development code update. We will be working with Withers Ravenel to do a complete overhaul of our Unified Development Ordinance, which was originally adopted in 2007. And so we've had text amendments along the way, but the bulk of the document was adopted in 2007. And so I'll be happy to answer any questions regarding the contract, but we have reviewed it and are satisfied with the proposal.
Can you jog my memory and remind me what we budgeted for this?
$102,000.
100 over. I make the motion we approve.
Any other questions? All in favor say aye.
Thank
Opposed,
you.
no.
So I'll be looking for you all to, we'll form a steering committee, and we will start that process as soon as we get with Withers and have a kickoff. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
That's all right. We'll take that out of Glenn's pay.
Consider approval to lease John Deere bunker and field rake gator zero-turn mower. Matt Smith.
Good evening. All right, remind me once again. There we go. Got it. Okay, so I'm in here to ask for approval on leasing some John Deere equipment for the Parks and Rec. The first one is a 1200 bucket rake and field rake. It drags the field. You're able to do field work with it. The next one is a zero-turn mower. As you know, that we're mowing all our own surfaces, and Our mower that we have now is currently 10 years old, and it still works, but it's getting to be at the end of its life. The next
There you go.
is a Gator TX Turf, and that's going to move all our equipment, and we can also drag fields with it, work on fields. We looked into purchasing, then a lot of this work was done by Tim Messer, so he did a lot of work with it. The purchase of this equipment straight out, the field rake alone was $14,200. The Gator was nearly $988. The Ventrac was $47,000 alone. The JSV buggy was over $15,000. The laser 72-inch mower over $16,000. So all the equipment that we looked at was more expensive than the John Deere, and we're getting them all from the same place. My recommendation is to do a buyout lease. It'll cost a couple grand more over the course of 5 years. At the end of the lease, the equipment can be owned for $1. So we buy it out for $1. The money we save with this lease, instead of buying $35,000 worth of equipment, we could put to something else like a playground or towards the playground equipment at the Grove is what I'm looking at. Building needs or whatever else that we would need for finishing out the some of the park needs. There is a service contract that comes along, but I honestly don't believe we need it. It does cover a lot. It includes 8 visits in the field. Standard service is included in the shop. It's $967.50 each for the 12, the field drag and the Gator, and the Z-Track mower would be $1,500 annually. Over the course of 5 years, it's $17,000. This service contract can be added on at any point during our lease, so it's not something we have to do now or make a decision on now. I personally don't think we need it. Our maintenance chief is very handy and does all our service now, and I think he's able to do everything that they can do. But I just wanted to let you know that there is a contract available if we want it, but I honestly don't think it's something that we need right now.
Matt,
Sir.
our other equipment right now that we used to use, is it still usable?
It's usable.
There's no trade-in, we wouldn't look at
No,
a trade-in deal?
for what we have now, like I say, our mower it mows. It's still a mower, but it's not going to last forever. It's got 10 years on it. The buggy's got at least 10 years on it, and we can use it for now, but it's not going to last.
And we would, if we went with this, we would use it now because we've got, what, 3 more fields?
Yeah,
that
we would
have
use
to-
everything we have plus what we're getting. This isn't
Now, on the lease-
an either or. This is
on
a
the
please
lease
add.
deal, is it going to be worth $1 when we get through with it?
5 years, yes.
Okay.
My opinion, yes. It's John Deere. It's it's one of the most known names in equipment.
Well, the fire department bought this very same one, and it's working great. We're doing our own,
How long you had it?
year.
Okay.
No,
But we're
it's-
talking 5, and the mower we have now, it's a good mower. It worked out well, but it is, and the buggy, it works, but it has its issues. Just like anything else, stuff wears out.
Kim, is Parks and Rec and Fire Department in the contract we have with?
No.
No, we mow our own surfaces. We don't mow around our buildings, but we mow our own surfaces at ball fields, and lately we need to.
And we do now ourselves too. That's why it's staying mowed.
Now, they mow around our civic center, but they do not mow our ball fields. They don't mow any field. They don't mow any of Nance except the outside edge around the outside of the white fence. They mow around the ball fields at this, but they don't mow the ball fields. And they mow around the civic center, but they don't mow, because we have to have our stuff mowed. We have to have it done. We can't wait 7-10 days. If we have a ball game on Monday or Friday or whatever, we need it mowed. And I can't wait for those guys to come out and do it.
But when, the fields needed to be mowed 3 or 4 weeks ago when I was out there.
Yeah.
So do they mow that, or do you mow that?
We mow the playing surfaces. So if it's an outfield of a ball field, we mow it. And if I'm not sure what field you're talking about, but if it was outside the playing surfaces, it wasn't us.
It was on Lee Street.
Okay, was it on the ball field or was it around the ball field?
No, it was in the ball field.
Okay. Well, I've mowed it myself several times this year, and I know Jamie's done it.
But I also know that when you go out and you see the ball fields that are really mowed and taken care of, and the outside of it looks like it's not. So but that doesn't affect any of this equipment or anything. That's another discussion.
Kim, when we were looking at this prior to budget time, did we put anything in the budget? We did for
Yes.
equipment?
We did.
Because, okay, have we got enough in it?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, in that line item, we put $70,000 in M&R of equipment, and that included the bunker rake and all these things he's asking for. That was kind of encompassed in that, so, yes, we have it.
Good deal.
Any other questions? I'll entertain a motion.
I'll make a motion, we approve Matt's recommendation.
Any other questions? All in favor say aye. Opposed, no.
Thank you.
Consider approval of generator for public utility building.
So I think we probably had this discussion at the board retreat that we had in May, but we are fully in our new public utilities building. Public Works and Electric is operating out of that building. And that will be the command center, quote unquote, when we have a storm. And so it's up on the hill. We are going to avoid any flooding that happens that we saw when Hurricane Matthew came through. But part of that being the command center is we're going to need a generator on that building. So Anthony has gone out and done some work on finding a generator. It is $76,000 to cover the entire building. That's the warehouse as well. It's all of it. It would get split between funds 30 and 31 since both of those funds cover electric and water and sewer. So that fund would cover the cost of this as well. The estimated delivery for it is not until February, but that's the best we can do right now. We are working on getting a temporary unit out there that we can get from this company that we're leasing from, or that we're buying from, until we can get the actual permanent unit.
Are there any other funds that were put aside available for just this generator?
We did not put anything in the budget like specifically for the generator.
I'm talking about Hurricane Matthew. We had an old generator down there, and I heard the comment from Matt that, yeah, we were going to get so much money for that, and we would put it so when we got a new facility, that, I know that's going back, but
We
there
do.
was a lot of promises during that time made with the flooding coming through under 301 and taking out the building.
So we have some money from that, but that is $42,000, and it's specifically for the tear down of those buildings. So which we're working to take that money and go apply for the BRIC grant to help us tear down those buildings and do a stream restoration on the old property.
Okay.
But we also have an old generator that we know we're not going to be able to use, so we have talked about reselling that generator. But Anthony's still working on talking with the this company with even about a trade-in value for the old unit. But we can't use the generator that we have. He said it's only a 25 kW.
And this big diesel will handle everything out there.
Yes, sir.
Any other questions? I'll entertain a motion.
I make a motion we approve the generator.
All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, no. Ayes have it. Consider approval of EDA project manager, Skip Green.
So Skip Green helped us with the application for EDA for the Mingo Interceptor project. This is kind of encompasses work he's already done, as well as being the project manager on the EDA side of this particular project. There's a lot of rules and regulations that we have to abide by in regards to EDA that he is well versed in. He's done it before. If you look at page 7 of his application, it shows that $8,000 would be due upon approval of this application. That's for work he's actually already done, considering that we did get approved for the EDA grant. And then it's the lump sum payment is split out. You see, 15%, 80% of construction. He has it split out for us. So for the total project to be 30,000, no, 38,000. Sorry.
So we 8,000 now? And
We do.
And it'll be spread out.
Yep. But we've worked with Skip on a number of projects. I mean, I think most of y'all maybe have met him in the past. He's done a lot of work so far in this particular project, so he's definitely an asset to us.
He's done a lot of work for us, he didn't get paid.
Yeah, that's right.
He was just helping us out. Any other questions? I'll entertain a motion.
I make a motion, we approve.
Any other questions? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, no. Consider approval of updated scope of work on stormwater management program, like Lawton Consulting.
So this came to us originally in November of 2021. Beth actually does some work for us through the county. She helps the county approve all of our stormwater maps that come through from development. She's also helped us with our MS4 permit that we have to have through the state. And so, like I said, this was already been approved, but we've added some extra things to it in regards to her scope of work. We have another permit that's up for renewal in the next couple of months, as well as some education points that need to be done and another annual report. And then she's going to help us with some ordinances that we need to talk about that Aaron and I have discussed with her in regards to stormwater. So her actual going rate is $50 an hour. She, again, has been an asset to us. And if you see, all the scopes have been broken out. So this is just an update to that contract.
Does anybody have any questions?
Have we budgeted anything?
Yes, this is budgeted. This is comes out of your stormwater fee. So
I make a motion, we approve it.
Any other questions? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, no. Consider approval of ADA grievance policy and section of 504 policy statement.
So, as you all know, we're working on our ADA transition plan. These are things that we had to bring forth to the board in regards, but it had to be approved by the board prior to us sending our ADA transition plan to be approved by the state. So, you have a grievance policy here, as well as the 504 statement that talks about American with Disabilities Act. It's a policy statement. So this is just a check-off point for the ADA transition plan.
But this was more of a mandatory thing that we had to do.
Yeah.
Or we'd get fined.
Yeah.
And we jumped on it and got it done.
Yeah, and we still have the survey out for everybody to fill out. That's through the end of the month, so I'll go ahead and plug that while we're talking about it. It's on our website, our newly built website. Thanks to Tyler, it dropped today. But if you haven't done that, please go in and fill that survey out as well.
I have a hard copy.
Yes, we have hard
You like
copies.
that, don't you?
I do like that. Now, make sure you print one off for him.
Yeah.
I told him it's
please
25%, 25 cents a copy.
do. I paid
Any
you.
questions on this? I'll entertain a motion.
I make a motion, we approve.
All in favor say aye. Opposed, no. Consider approval resolution 230-2022.
Oh, financials first.
I tried to skip that. We don't want to look at it. Consider approval of July 2022 financials.
Okay, closing out the month of July, the town stands at 6.07% in revenues and 9.60% in expenses. And we had the auditors here, last week. They were here Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. They said everything, I mean, they just did the preliminary, got everything, but they said everything looked good, but we should get the final in what, October?
Yeah, we usually get it in October. They present in November.
Do we gonna lose any money this time?
I haven't seen the numbers yet.
Yeah, they
So.
just came and got pretty much
Yeah.
everything they needed.
Any questions of the financials? July doesn't mean much because it's a catch-up from what you wanted to do last year and end of last year, so I'm not looking too close. I'll entertain a motion.
I make a motion, we approve.
All in favor, say aye. Opposed, no. Now, approval of resolution 230.
So we would like to go out for some grant funding for stormwater. We have had some of our system cameraed, and we know we've got some failure, which is why you're seeing flooding like at TNT Fitness when rain comes in really heavy. And so it's on this side of the railroad tracks. We've got some undersized piping. So we've done some camera work. We are working on getting an application done, but we have to have a resolution approved by the board before we can submit.
I'll make
So
that
that's what it
motion.
is.
Please, get it.
And if anybody has pictures they would like to send me that shows the flooding, any type of documentation that we have would only help us.
You got my pictures?
Yeah.
Okay.
Any other questions? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, no. Consider approval of purchase of a 2018 Chevy Silverado 1500.
So, electric department is in need of a truck. We had it budgeted for a truck for $24,000. We were hoping we could find something on the state contract. I have called around. I've even talked with, tried to get through with our enterprise folks that we lease vehicles from. There is just not enough inventory out there right now in regards to trucks. I was able to find a 2018 Chevy Silverado 1500 4x4 crew cab. It's only had one owner. It's got 24,000 miles on it, and it's $41,000. So it is $17,000 difference from what we budgeted. It is coming out of electric. Electric usually has a green, like an excess of funds every year. If we don't go with this, I don't know when I'll get them a truck. Possibly in 2023, but I can't order anything because the ordering banks are closed.
How many miles you say was on?
24,000,
Shoot, it's new.
pretty
Have
much.
you priced a new one over at like Dorman or somewhere? I know he's got some work trucks sitting over there.
Haven't priced a brand new one. I can go back and try, but I did call Performance and
That's a joke.
I just ordered a brand new one for 52.
Oh, did you?
So if you
Really?
just order a brand new one for 52 and you're paying 41 for one that's 5 years old, I think that
where did you get it from?
Dorman.
Okay. I can go back
That
and
was a
try.
2500 crew cab, four-wheel drive.
Okay.
GM's?
We need to talk.
You might better take William with you.
Seriously.
Hey, William down there, and I'll get
I just hate to see us spend that kind of money.
Yeah.
But I think the market's fixing to fall.
I do too.
Okay, we can hold off.
Can we get by for maybe a few more weeks and I'll get with you tomorrow?
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
Who doesn't have a truck in the electrical department? How many trucks do we have? And I'm not talking about the big ones.
We only have, Glenn has a truck and we have one other pickup truck.
Okay.
And so they're all four cramming to
I figured we have 4 or 5.
no, we do not.
Okay.
No. Mm-mm. And we're about to have, we have somebody new coming. We were able to find a Class A lineman, so he's coming on board in the next couple of weeks. We did lose Noah he went to the private sector, but we think we've already found a replacement for him. So pretty soon we're going to be fully staffed in electric, and we'll have 2 crews. And so we don't want them to have to take out our service body trucks every single time. If they're just going to go look at something, they don't need to take those big trucks out. So we can have a truck per crew essentially, and then Glenn will have a truck.
And I know we've talked about this. Are we going to be budgeted for all the staff that are coming in?
Yes.
The revenue versus I'm just worried to death that Jerry sits up here and he just, well, this doesn't make any difference, but I know that it's going to cost us $200,000.
Yes, the budget is staffed for the people coming in, so I don't think that's gonna be a problem. Yes, yes.
I know we sat here and talked about police cars.
Mm-hmm.
And, well, we got one sitting that was wrecked, and I said, well, let's go ahead and get it fixed. So it'd be the extra